What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE swerving the fans with Roman Reigns' win not being valid, Mike Tyson punches out an AEW star, a fan had COVID at WrestleMania, a recently fired AEW star talks misconduct in the promotion, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Now our first story looks at Roman Reigns' win not valid. Could the WWE be setting things up for another rematch between Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan following Reigns' victory over both men at WrestleMania 37? Well, social media musings suggest that WWE might be addressing the situation where Reigns pinned both Edge and Daniel Bryan, but where Edge also pinned Bryan. As some fans speculated that since Edge was covering Bryan when Roman covered Edge, that the finish was either inconclusive or both men are champions. Now, normally we wouldn't put much stock in the fan musings, as interesting as they are, but the WWE responded to them on social media, which suggests the promotion is planning to address them on this week's SmackDown. First, let's look at what one fan had to say about the puzzling pinning predicament. Edge is on Bryan, therefore he's pinning him. Edge is the real Universal Champion. WWE authority figure Adam Pearce responded, "Interesting take." But then referee Charles Robinson called a match and addressed the issue, tweeting, "4 shoulders were on the mat, Roman was on top of both and in charge. It's my discretion and that's the final call." That would seem to be the end of the controversy, but Adam Pearce responded to referee Robinson saying, "Charles, please come and see me in my office on Friday. Thank you." Is this a case of the WWE letting Pearce and Robinson have fun with the fan theories, or are they using social media to build interest in this Friday's SmackDown and the possibility of a rematch? As we mentioned, it seemed like the WWE will milk this red-hot feud for at least one more match. In one scenario, the WWE could argue Edge and Roman have to battle to decide who is the true champion, while in another, the promotion could simply order a rematch between all three. Do you think there's any substance to this theory, or is the Roman vs Edge vs Daniel Bryan program finished? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Mike Tyson punches out an AEW star and joins the Inner Circle. Boxing legend Mike Tyson is now an official member of AEW faction The Inner Circle. Tyson, who saved the Inner Circle's Chris Jericho from a beating last week at the hands of arch rivals The Pinnacle, served as a special enforcer for the match between Chris Jericho and Pinnacle member Dax Harwood. Yesterday's edition of Dynamite saw Jericho defeat Harwood, despite outside interference from Harwood's tag team partner Cash Wheeler, who Tyson then punched out after Wheeler tried to use a baseball bat on Jericho. After the match, Jericho announced that the baddest man on the planet was a fully fledged member of the Inner Circle. What do you guys think of Iron Mike Tyson joining the Inner Circle? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Ronda Rousey discusses her WWE return. It looks like WWE President Nick Khan may have spoken too soon about Rowdy Ronda returning to the WWE. You'll likely recall Khan said that Rousey would be back at a certain point in time. However, during a chat with Devon Dudley on the Hall of Famous Table Talk podcast, she noted, "I actually waited until this moment to tell everybody, I don't know when I'll return. When I feel like it. I'll come back when I feel like it. Eventually, when I feel like it." At this point, fans shouldn't hold their breath, as the former Raw Women's Champion could be working the fans to ensure a proper surprise return, or waiting for the mood to strike her for a return. When should Rowdy Ronda return? Possibly at SummerSlam? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a fan who attended WrestleMania tested positive for COVID. A Post Wrestling's John Pollock is reporting that he's spoken with a fan who recently tweeted he tested positive for COVID-19 after attending both nights of WrestleMania 37 as well as other wrestling events that week. Pollock tweeted, "I reached out to this person and they informed me they did receive their positive COVID-19 test on Tuesday night. As a notice for those that could be affected, he attended the following shows: Jimmy Lloyd's D-Generation F, Bloodsport, Spring Break, both WrestleMania nights." The fan said he knew the risks of contracting COVID when he attended the various shows and simply wanted to let the people who attended know they might have been exposed. Next up, will the WWE run Mania on 2 nights again? The WWE's decision to run WrestleMania over 2 nights for the last 2 years of the Showcase of the Immortals has fans wondering whether this is the WWE's new policy. A recent report from WrestleVote suggests that's not the case. Now that the weekend is behind us, nearly everyone I spoke to regarding WrestleMania had positive things to say. Aside from the weather, everything went smooth. The two-day event was viewed as a success, but plans still remain for one single night next year in Dallas. Which format do you prefer, 2 nights or 1 night? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a fired AEW star claims the promotion mistreated her. An AEW star Invalid has been fired from the promotion, but she's not going quietly into the good night. She tweeted, "History repeats itself unfortunately. I speak about mistreatment and get let go. That's life." Invalid signed with AEW in 2020 and she spoke to Fightful Select about what she claims led her to a release. "I spoke up about mistreatment from a coach, even to other women too. There were witnesses and I was the one suspended and left in limbo and just now let go. And nothing has been done at all the entire time about Thunder Rosa slandering my name the entire time in AEW and doing everything to sabotage my position there. I kept quiet. Thunder Rosa also has a history of getting involved with officials in order to get ahead, which there was a lawsuit and everything in Lucha Underground. This isn't the first time Invalid has been released in the shadow of controversy. In 2012, she was released from the WWE's Florida Championship Wrestling developmental territory, and she hinted that she was released because she tried to report controversial trainer Bill DeMott, who later resigned to the WWE. Invalid worked in Lucha Underground for 4 seasons but was later released. Right away at the time, she, Thunder Rosa, and Santos Escobar participated in the class action lawsuit against the promotion. As always, there's 2 sides to every story, and rumor has it that AEW released her due to notable disagreements with AEW agents. Fightful Select added that AEW wrestlers told the site as early as last March that Invalid's days in AEW were numbered. We'll continue following the story as it develops. Next up, another altered finish for WrestleMania revealed. As previously reported, the WWE made some changes to the planned finish for some of WrestleMania 37's various matches, including the Fiend vs Randy Orton bout. But now it's coming out that they also changed things up for the US Championship bout. Fightful Select revealed that Riddle was originally supposed to retain against Sheamus, but the WWE reportedly had Sheamus win the belt in order to continue the program between Riddle and the Celtic Warrior. There have also been rumors that Riddle wasn't even supposed to win the US Championship, but that Keith Lee was penciled to win the belt until he was taken off television. And finally, Chris Jericho comments on AEW defeating NXT. And last but not least, now that the Wednesday Night War has concluded, what does top AEW star Chris Jericho think about the situation? Well, he shared his thoughts with Forbes' Alfred Konuwa about what Jericho and AEW were going to do to celebrate their victory. Really nothing. We've never really worried about what NXT was doing. I know that WWE NXT was watching our stuff during their show, but this was not a war that we were ever asking for. We were kind of thrust into it by proxy. The reason why we won it and won it so handedly is we never worried about what anybody else was doing. We just worried about our own show. Nonetheless, AEW's dominant win over the WWE's black and gold brand hasn't gone unnoticed by anyone in AEW. Jericho noted, "Of course we're competitive. Yeah, we wanted to beat NXT. Yes, we wanted to drive them screaming and yelling away from Wednesdays, and we did that." Now, the Wednesday Night War is over with NXT moving to Tuesday nights as wrestling fans prepare to see what both NXT and Dynamite will do with no competition with each other. The conclusion of the lopsided war has changed the wrestling landscape even more as Impact has moved from Tuesday nights to Thursday nights, which means wrestling fans will now be able to watch professional wrestling Monday through Friday. But there you have it folks, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.